protecting Main Street from Wall Street. It's Chris Hoffman with Money Unleashed.
How much money do you put into your checking account from work on a month-to-month basis? It has a high probability that with your investable assets, we can replace that paycheck.
It's time to put you back in control of your money.
You've worked for 35 years. It's time for you to not stress. It's time for you to enjoy and live the retirement you want to live.
It's Money Unleashed with Chris Hoffman.
Welcome to the Money Unleashed podcast, powered by the Hoffman Financial Group. I'm here as always with Chris Hoffman, the founder of the Hoffman Financial Group. Chris, great to sit down with you again. We got lots to get into, as always, as 2025 ticks on down, but I've got an important question for you right off the top before we get started. How's the holiday shopping going? Because I know I mean to get started sooner than later every single year, but I find myself in the same boat with someone or something.
It's going great. I was way ahead of schedule, got everything ordered, and with the exception of some deliveries that were placed in the side of the house, right underneath the garage, instead of the front door, and I panicked and went to the neighbors. Little things like that.
Yeah.
Just checking on FedEx and USPS and UPS, but everything has arrived. We're ready for the holiday.
We got to jump into the show because we have lots of different things to discuss when it comes to retirement and saving and all the other financial topics we like to hit here on Money Unleashed. But I do want to start this off as a movie buff. I'm always on the lookout for great quotes to apply to everyday life. One of my favorites comes from the movie Gladiator, and it's pretty early on, as General Maximus tells his troops that what we do in life echoes in eternity. That's a pretty legendary line right there.
Yes, it is.
You'll hear it in all kinds of sports hype videos and whatnot down at stadiums and on television broadcasts. But I'm going to dial it back on the epic scale and tell you that what we do today can have a profound impact on our financial lives. Translation, make the most of your time. U.S. News & World Report shared a list of 4 essential steps that you can take today in order to set yourself up for the retirement you want down the line. So let's start with something that can get away from folks. And knowing what you're spending now, Chris, that can help you understand what you'll need to spend later, can it?
Yeah, and we talk about it a lot. It's one of the toughest questions for callers that come in for the first time for a consult to answer, which is, how much do you spend? We basically measure it on how much do I make, how much comes in to our checking and savings accounts, and that money is used for savings and spending. And if there's money left over at the end of the year, we don't really analyze our spending. So how many of you out there are checking and doing an annual review or a quarterly review of, let me pull up the credit cards and see where our spending is being allocated? It's important to know for preparation for after the working years to know where you want to spend your money and how much you want to afford yourself, because spending should be looked at as a reward, an opportunity to spend money on yourself, especially going into retirement, on the things that you really enjoy and want to spend your money on. It shouldn't be restrictive. You shouldn't be told you can only spend this much. And we can mirror it with an income plan and see how much your financial life can send you. And then you have your assets and you can pull off of growth. I'm a big believer in preserving principal in retirement, but that's kind of how we form things. So knowing what you spend and being able to sit down, do that annual review, pull up all the expenses, and I think you'll find some golden nuggets in that exercise. Either, wow, we really enjoy doing this, but why did we do this? And maybe we won't repeat that same spending pattern for years to come.
Yeah, a few lessons might be found in there as
That's
well.
right.
And next up on this list, and it might kind of echo what you just said, and this is from U.S. News & World Report, another essential step to plan for retirement before you take the plunge is considering those future expenses. This is simply, I think, part 2 of that spending assessment, just knowing where the money needs to go once you're done working and where the money maybe used to go while you were working, where it no longer has to.
Yeah, and that's also very confusing for retirees to get a grip on, which is, well, spending patterns will change. We'll focus in different things, right? When we're in our 20s and 30s and 40s, we're basically raising our family and paying our mortgage and, you know, building a business or building our career. And in retirement, now it becomes spending more on yourself, hopefully, and we'll work with you on this if it's a problem, but paying down and paying off debt is a huge mission going into retirement. building your life expenses and basically focusing in on, okay, now where do we shift the money? So that's one of the marquees of building a solid retirement plan is do not lower your spending level. That's why we call it the Replace My Paycheck Challenge.
Right.
Require your financial life to pay you as much or more as what you made in your working years. And then you can reposition those funds into the fun things. Pay down debt, no credit cards. Your mortgage should be starting to pay you back in effect if it's a 30-year mortgage. And you don't have leases on cars, hopefully, and you just reposition those funds. So this isn't an exercise in restriction. This is an exercise in pointing those funds at areas that you can enjoy because it should be all about you in your retirement years.
Well, you have to consider health costs in the future as well.
Yep.
Fidelity recently revealed some client data that showed the average 65-year-old retiree can expect to spend about $172,000 in medical out-of-pocket expenses over the next 20 or 30 years once they go through retirement. So, Chris, you got to have a plan for that, don't you?
Yeah, so what just struck me with that, and actually this is the first time it's ever struck me, and we've talked about healthcare expenses a lot, is I wonder how much people that are in their working years over the first 20 years of their working life or first 30 years of their working life, I wonder how much out-of-pocket expenses they have.
Interesting.
Because, right, we have copays, and we have deductibles, and we have, I don't know, whether it's cosmetic or something that's not covered by insurance, or you could have a lapse in insurance and not be on COBRA, or maybe you need to pay for COBRA and it's more expensive. So how much out-of-pocket expenses do 30-year-olds go through and 40-year-olds go through and 50-year-olds go through? Now, I will not discount the fact that as we age, our bodies are machines. They get older and they start to break down, and we need to prepare ourselves to make sure we have allocated enough funds to make sure that we're secure in that. So things like HSA accounts can be extremely helpful. So those of you that have HSA accounts available to you, I would recommend putting money in those. Or for bigger issues, do you have a long-term care policy? Do you have a home care rider on one of your insurance policies? Do you have a life insurance you can use for long-term care? Or do you have enough assets that your income will have excess payments? So instead of going on the cruise or trip around the world that year for $20,000, as you get older and you don't travel, will we use those funds to make life extremely comfortable and secure for you in retirement?
Now, here's a two-parter that checks two big boxes for retirement. Let's start with the fun stuff. You want to plan for your lifestyle. And what does that mean? What are you going to do with all that time? Where are you going to go? What kind of hobbies do you have? You'd be surprised, but some folks have absolutely no idea what exactly they're going to be getting into. So let's drop anchor here for a minute, Chris. This is where the fun begins.
This is living your best life in retirement. And one of the things that I see couples struggle with is the hesitation that I see in the first 2 years of some new retirees is they're waiting. They're waiting for the market to crash. They're concerned about it. They're waiting for their portfolio to be damaged. They're concerned about how much income they can generate from their portfolio. And there are a lot of questions and fears that they have versus hang up your cleats, celebrate, you're young, you're healthy, go live your best life, travel everywhere you've always wanted to travel. So how do I bridge that gap with new clients? It's called an exercise in planning. It's putting it in writing so they both can look at it, chew on it, absorb it, challenge it. It's the Replace My Paycheck Challenge, which is the full income plan, which has taxes. How are we going to protect you from getting manhandled by the IRS and end up paying a bunch of taxes? So it's income planning. It's full financial planning. It's reasonable growth targets and playing with those and inflation levels. So that way, when you've got 3 or 4 full financial plans, including an income plan, a tax strategy, et cetera, in front of you, you and your husband or you and your wife can look at it and say, hey, we need to go enjoy what we've built. Look how powerful this is. And that's the light bulb that turns on in most clients when we do that income and full financial plan. It's enlightening, and it lets you go live your best retirement life.
All right, the final step here is planning for your finale, and that's putting together a legacy plan to organize what you want to leave behind. That's just another critical step and something that you need to plan for.
Yeah, you want your money protected for you, your family, your charities, who you want to give it to, or if you want to give it to yourself, we can plan around that.
Sure.
I don't recommend, again, reaching into the principal, but certainly if you want to spend off the growth and enjoy it, go for it. If you want to gift college to grandkids, go for it. Spend. There's nothing wrong with that. But yes, for those of you that want to leave a legacy, you got to worry about hard assets, property. You got to worry about jewelry, watches, et cetera, et cetera. You have to worry about beneficiary forms. And when I say worry, don't worry about it. Just plan it. Just get with the right professionals to help you plan through it and prepare it so you don't have to worry about it.
And that's the good news here, Chris, is that if you want to get yourself organized and ready to truly tackle retirement and the plans that go along with it to enjoy the life you're working so hard for, Hoffman Financial Group is here to help you every step along the way, right?
It is. All you need to do is call us at 404-341-6767, or you can go to unleashyourmoney.com. Click on the Portfolio X-ray. That's an easy first step, very powerful. We'll give you a report on your financial life. It'll also provide you, I think, 2 or 3 golden nuggets of things that you can question inside how you're managing your current portfolio and assets.
That Portfolio X-ray is a great first step, but if you heard about that income plan and you're curious about what that looks like, Replace My Paycheck Challenge is also available to you. You can give us that call at 404-341-6767, or there's a nice shiny button right over there on unleashyourmoney.com. You see Portfolio X-ray, you can click that. You can also click Replace My Paycheck and get started with Hoffman Financial Group. There's no cost to do so either. Again, 404-341-6767. That's 404-341-6767 and online at unleashyourmoney.com. Chris Hoffman is an investment advisor representative of Brookstone Wealth Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor and affiliate of Brookstone Capital Management, LLC. BWA and Hoffman Financial Group are affiliated under common ownership. Registered investment advisors and investment advisor representatives act as fiduciaries for all of our investment management clients. We have an obligation to act in the best interest of our clients and to make full disclosures of any conflicts of interest. Please refer to our firm brochure, the ADV 2A, page 4, for additional information. The Hoffman Financial Group and WSB are not affiliated. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. This information should not be considered tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a professional specializing in the field of tax, legal, accounting, or investments regarding the applicability of this information for their situation. Any client experiences discussed during the show are unique to that client. They are not meant to imply or suggest you will experience the same results. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments will fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. Any comments regarding safe and secure products and guaranteed income streams refer only to fixed insurance products. They do not refer in any way to securities or investment advisory products. Fixed insurance and annuity product guarantees are subject to the claims paying ability of the issuing company and are not offered by Brookstone. Index or fixed annuities are not designed for short-term investments and may be subject to caps, restrictions, fees, and surrender charges as described in the annuity contract. Please refer to our firm brochure, the ADV 2A, item 4, for additional information. Hoffman Financial Group is not affiliated with or endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency. Insurance licensed in Georgia, number 163546.